If you've ever wondered what the common problems are with these second generation Chevy Tahoes, I got a quick video for you. You're watching the Car Doctor channel. Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim. I'm here at my repair shop, Donor Auto in Anchorage, Alaska, while I wait for a throttle body on that 07 Express over there. I've got this Tahoe in, and hey, I have a heart for these people. They've encountered some tough times, so I'm not mocking them with this vid. They do have a lot of issues with their Tahoe, but this is one that's been parked for a while because well, it was sidelined with a bunch of issues, and then their vehicle, which I fixed up last year, recently got hit by an uninsured motorist. While they're waiting to figure that out, they drug this thing out of the bushes and brought it down. But I just don't think it's going to be ethical to invest anything in this thing and get it going. This is a 03 Tahoe LT. It's got the 5.3, and let me show you what we got. Complained of a check engine light. He mentioned some codes, and we have PO 101 mass airflow, PO 430 cat efficiency low, bank 2, which is concerning because that could be a restricted cat causing this deal and throwing off the mass airflow deal. Let's just take a quick look at misfire data, see if bank 2 has some common misfires. Misfire history, there's nothing there right now. Could have been cleared recently, but we could spend some more time diagnosing that. But they also complained of intermittent no four-wheel drive, and I went into the transfer case history, and boy, this is a string of them here. It's got communication codes, front and rear propeller shaft speed. It's got the common encoder motor codes, switch code. It's got everything. So, did notice that the vehicle's registration is expired. That's going to cost a few bucks there. Let me show you a few other things we run into. You know, this is a Chevy Tahoe. It's got nearly 200 grand on the clock. So, you know, it's done pretty well, but hasn't been maintained meticulously. Obviously, the windshield is bashed out. It's got some interior issues. Nothing that can't be resolved, but that's innovative. But yeah, some of these things are just common issues that you would be dealing with on a vehicle or a Tahoe with this age, but this one just has a lot of compounded issues, so I'm not sure it's worth dealing with. Let me show you what else we found. Okay, looks like we're due for an oil change. Got it on the rack here, so raise it up, take a look at some other stuff. This was a little concerning here, but kind of the least of our worries. One thing you'll notice is there's just not a ton of rust. Here's the worst of it back here, but for a year model 03 with 200 grand on it, I mean, we're doing pretty good. But Alaska doesn't typically use road salt, so that's a plus. Hey, every time we see this, it's a little concerning when the rotor is worn just paper thin. That's just not going to cut it. These pads are obviously totally worn out. This caliper's probably just froze up and needs a complete caliper bracket assembly, brake pads, rotors, and maybe some backing plates there. Both sides on the rear. And again, as you can see, the exhaust system looks pretty good. No spare. That's gonna suck if you need that. And you might need those spares considering the tires are completely trashed. There's nothing left here. That's going to be an issue. Here's that T-case. We can sample the fluid, look for metal in it. Need to check that front diff wiring and make sure that the wiring's good. That solenoid up front, the actuator, could be a problem, but I'm thinking this T-case is going to be another part of the problem. Let's take a look at the front end here. First off, we got deck school just drizzling off the front, and that water pump, getting coolant on my phone. The water pump smoked, guys, and that's a super common problem. No surprise, but compounded with everything else, where you need belts and a pump and flush the cooling system. They put green coolant in it, so that's no bueno. Got the common front diff seal, output seal leakage. We can deal with that. We could just top that off, but let's go ahead and raise up the front end. We'll shake it down. These inner tie rod ends are a common problem, and this one's definitely got the inner tie rod end blues, as you can see there by that movement. It's like the outer ends are okay, but I think based on the tire wear, we probably got more problems. Let's take a look at this ball joint. Oh boy. That's just not good. As you can see by the movement here, we're not looking good there. It's smoked. So really needs upper and lower ball joints, both sides. I would just do upper control arms and lower joints on this one. Bushings look good. And at the same time, we'll probably straighten out this. Actually, I don't anticipate doing these repairs, but I would go ahead and fix this lug deal. The wheel bearings are tight. The hub assemblies on this are a common problem. My guess is they've been done at least a couple times here, but these are tight. And speaking of common issues on these rear brake lines, of course, if you're from the Rust Belt, these lines would have been done several times. But in this case, probably stock brake lines, and they're intact and functioning well. It's kind of hard to see along the frame rail here where these lines run down and they end up here at the ABS module, but these look stock. Here's that Bank 2 cat. We got some vibration, but that's just the heat shield on the rear muffler. But sometimes you can kind of diagnose a bad cat by giving it the vibration test. But we'd have to do a little more testing, check for back pressure, and monitor the up and downstream O2s over here and see what's going on with that. Well, got a nice red top Optima, but you know, you gotta fasten them down. These things come with a special retainer, battery hold down, but this one's completely missing, so they've just thrown a chunk of wood or something under it. But you don't want that rolling into the fan or contacting something as you're driving down the road. There's some more of that water pump leakage from multiple different locations. When you do these, do the thermostat housing assembly and probably both belts, and get a new pump. Get something quality. PO 101 was there, and it was just without that cat code. I'd be looking at the mass airflow. We just check the data PID and might clean it or replace it if it's got a hard circuit issue. A couple other things to be mindful of: these heater hose connectors, especially that one towards the driver's side more. The plastic part breaks off. I got a vid on that. Both of these can break right near the firewall, and luckily it's just a plastic connector you replace. Again, don't add green coolant. It takes Dex Cool. You could flush it completely and use green coolant, but don't use both. Wow, this is innovative. So I guess we're missing the power steering reservoir cap. So that's not really an expensive fix. They have those aftermarket. These intake manifold gaskets, there's an updated set. They're definitely prone to leakage during cold starting conditions and others, and create vacuum leaks and PO 172s and 174s. You might need to upgrade your intake gaskets. You can smoke test them for leakage. Pretty good braking system on here, apart from those rear calipers, which seem to be slightly problematic, and rusted brake lines. But this one, you know, obviously needs some help. The fluid's low and the rear brakes are smoked. Could probably go on and on here. If you've got other common issues you'd like to add down in the description, be helpful for other people. I know I've skipped over a lot, and again, I'm in Anchorage, Alaska, so the corrosion isn't as much a problem here as it is stateside. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you next time on the Car Doctor channel. Take care.